Hello, nice to talk to you again. Paul Marsden here. You'll know me from being in the library here before. Occupational psychologist, and done some stuff before with you on stress and resilience and a whole load of topics like that. And today I'm going to talk to you about some more stuff we need to get into our minds to cope with this COVID crisis we're going through at the moment. There's a lot of different demands on us, unusual, strange, weird demands every single day coming into us. And to be able to adapt and to respond to those demands is a very important thing. So I cover some things today that you can do to help you deal with that. I mentioned before that stress is this feeling we have when we feel our bag of tricks, our resources inside are not strong enough to cope with the constant demands coming in. And we always have these demands coming in all the time from family, from our work, from the bank, from whoever has demands for us. And they will never cease. They're continuous all the time, never stop. And then we have this unusual set of demands coming in now. When this whole COVID thing happened, our life has changed, upended completely. Our routines are all gone strange. And all these things can demand even more of us. From already a lot of demands coming in, even more to deal with now. Now we can add some more tricks to our bag of resources. So our sense of being able to cope with this can grow stronger and stronger every single day. If you do these simple things, I'm going to go through with you here today, you'll be able to handle these demands in a much better way than you might think possible. Because you have already great resources in there that you've used over the years to help you deal with all sorts of strange things coming in at you all the time. And you've handled those things really, really, really well. Possibly surprised yourself sometimes. Maybe you said, I'd never handle that, but you did. You handled it fine, you got through it, you look back at it now and talk about it now as if it was something that happened many, many years ago. And the same way, you'll handle this, you'll cope with this. With the added things I'm going to cover here with you today, you'll cope even better with it. Better thing for you. I'm going to base my work today with you on a guy called Rangan Chatterjee. His book is here in the library, and he talks about the 4 pillars of health and well-being. And those 4 pillars are food, what you eat, very important, movement, relaxation, and sleep. 3 very important things to get right. I cover some more of those things in later videos as well, but to give you an idea about that, the food we eat, really important, and we know we have to eat, and food is always important, but we know now from research on food just how important it is, and how important it is to eat proper, good stuff that's not processed. When you look at a food label, all the bits and pieces in it tell you how processed it is, and the less there is there, the less processed the food is, and the better it is for you. So he would say, the less processed you can find, the better. Also, the more colourful your food. Eat loads of colours. Say you have a salad. When I was a kid, as you all know, a salad was simply a bit of an egg, and there was a bit of salad cream, lettuce, and a piece of ham or something, and that was it. But they're much more elaborate affairs now. When you do a salad now, you put peppers and olives and all sorts of things in it, and the more colours you have in your food like that, again, the healthier it is. Because one thing we know from the research on food now is, we heard, I'm sure a lot about this, the whole biome, your microbiota, what's living inside you there. They need to be fed and kept happy. And if they're not, it can have all sorts of effects on your immunity, and your health, and your well-being in all sorts of ways. Because we know now that most of our what's called serotonin, which you heard about, chemicals that's involved in the brain, and you feel very good when it's really strong in your brain, that's produced mainly in the gut here, what you eat. Very, very important. So food is a really important thing. Getting that right is very important. Secondly, movement. And he goes on about movement quite a bit. And it's so important to move every so on during our day. And our days nowadays are often created so we don't have to move. Like years ago, you had to get up and walk over and change the button on television and walk back again. Now you just press a button and that happens automatically. So all of our life can be directed towards not moving as much. But movement is so important. And often these days, we're at a desk, looking at a computer, we're like this all day, sitting like that, and that's not what we're built for. We're not meant to be like that every single day, and that can affect us very, very badly. So movement is important. Every so often during the day, just sit up from the desk, stand up and stretch, shoulders back and head up, take a really good stretch, and then look with your eyes into the far away as you can see, to stretch your eyes as well. So look a far distance, as far away as you can see out through a window or something, as far as you can see, and that greatly also helps your eyes to relax and to calm down as well. But that stretch, that movement, really important. Massive, massive, massive de-stressor, the simple body movement thing. And research in just there 2 weeks ago says that young people, teenagers, school children who are involved in sport and are moving and doing stuff show less signs of stress, anxiety and fear and worry and that type of stuff because of the movement. That seems to help them an awful lot to process that. That's the very same with us as adults. So your movement, very important. When you walk, again, walk up shoulders back, and stretch each leg out as you walk properly. So you really stretch those things. You extend those muscles as far as you can. Really good thing to do. And again, a massive, massive de-stressor. And again, it's free and it's very, very simple. And you can do that all the time. So when you walk again the next time, when you get up from your table, just stretch like that and go and do things before you do stuff. We tend to hold that sort of flexed movement all the time, but that's not very good. So stretch as much as you can when you walk during the day. Relaxation, really, really important one, that you have something to do during the day that really calms you down and relaxes you. At the end of this, I'll do a small relaxation session with you, which you can use to calm things down. If you've been in the library here with me in Longford before, you'll have known this session before. You've loved it. People have said they've loved this session, so I'll do this small, simple thing with you. If you repeat that every single day, it'll help you to calm down during the day, but also to sleep at night. And the fourth pillar is sleep, I mentioned. That's a key one. We know lots of people don't sleep very well. We're hearing that reports from people all the time they don't sleep properly at all. They tend to stay awake throughout the night, or they have difficulty falling asleep, or they wake up very early and can't get back to sleep again. And all this stuff takes from their ability to get a good, proper night's sleep. And we need that. For handling demands coming in all the time, we need a proper, good, beneficial night's sleep. I'll look at sleep in more detail in a later video with you. But some tips for good sleep is important as well. So one thing that's very important for sleep is to get to bed, if you possibly can, at a regular time every night and get up at the same time in the morning. So keep that regular pattern going all the time. If you are going to bed, say, at 10 o'clock some nights, then it's 12 o'clock next night, it could be half one night after that, then 10 o'clock again, and this changing time all the time, your body gets very confused. Is it sleep time now? Is it wake up time now? What time is it now? It gets very, very confused by all that. So having a regular sleep time, say 10 o'clock or whatever time that suits you, your body begins to wind down at that time. Now, I know straight away people will say, look, I can't, I'm rearing children, I'm all this stuff, I can't do that. But if you possibly can, as often as you possibly can, regularize that sleeping pattern, and that will greatly help you to sleep. Watching eating, don't eat too late at night before you go to bed. And a real key thing is the coffee you take in. Be very careful with coffee, because coffee can linger a long, long time in your system. Some people say up to 12 hours it's still there. So if the coffee in the morning you have at 8 is still there at 8 p.m. in your system. A quarter of it is still, that caffeine is still in your system at 8 p.m. that evening. And if you have coffee during the day, that's mounting up. And people wonder why they can't sleep. So cutting out your coffee after the morning time is a very, very good thing to do. And tea as well, keeping all that. For people who say, if I drink tea, I can't sleep. And that's true. So watch the coffee and the tea, eating too late at night, regularize that pattern. And a really good tip for sleeping is to clear the clutter out of your sleep space. Clutter around us isn't a nice thing to have anyway. And say you have a room at home, you've done something to it, you've changed something, you've painted it, put up new curtains, you've even vacuumed it, it looks really, really good. You think, now I can relax now, that's great, I can calm down. You feel different from that straight away. So your sleep space is exactly the same. You've got suitcases there, or piles of clothes, or books, or work-related stuff. That won't help you sleep. That will take from the ability to sleep. If you can sleep really well already, that doesn't really matter. If you've got a sleep problem at all, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, then clear that clutter out. You'll be amazed what that does to your sleep and how much you can sleep more quickly and stay asleep more easily. As I said, I'll cover sleep in more detail a bit later on, but just those are some basic tips for sleep. Now, relaxation, important during the day that you have something to do to calm yourself down during the day. And one very simple thing I will show you now, a very simple technique to really calm things down during the day, is what's called a 5-finger breathing technique. Breathing is very important, as we know, like food. If you're not breathing, you wouldn't be alive. So we all know how important it is. But to calm down your breathing is a really, really good, calming, de-stressing thing to do. And before you do anything that's kind of going to worry you, you can do small, simple things to calm things down. And we all know the breath you take can really calm things down. But the 5-finger breathing technique can really, really relax things and calm things down completely. So I'm going to show you what to do. Take one hand and a finger, and we're going to breathe. As the finger goes up, the finger, and you breathe in. So we're going to breathe in and do along with me. So breathe in, just hold for a second, and breathe out. And breathe in again, hold for a second, and breathe out. And breathe in again, and hold for a second, and breathe out. And breathe in again for a second, hold for a second, and breathe out. And one more, breathe in, hold for a second, and breathe out. Now if you've done that with me, you'll find straight away things have calmed down for you greatly. It's a very simple, quick thing to do. I've done here in the library with you before. It's a very simple thing to do. If you face a difficult situation coming up or something that's difficult you have to handle, that simple little thing done in the car on your way to traffic lights or in the bus or something, just do that simple little thing, will calm things down for you straight away. It's a small, simple little thing to do. That's one very good thing to relax. So your 4 pillars again. Remember that it's to be your food, the food you eat, fresh, good, whole kind of food. The movement, remember that stretch thing, really good to do that every single time you stand up, stretch, be aware of that kind of thing, really good thing to do. Then relaxation, you've done theirs again, and sleep. Calming down and sleeping at night, really, really, really important to face things the next day. Next time I will look at sleep in more detail with you. We'll do some more relaxation stuff with you in the next video. And you can add these things together to become a really strong person, able to handle all sorts of good things coming at you. And you can handle those things in a really good way and build resilience, which we'll talk about in another video as well. Okay, thank you. We'll talk again soon. Take care and relax and sleep well.